Channel 62 has the lowest ratings in the history of television. What they need is a new station manager.
No, not him. Forget it. No way.
A man of action. A man of courage. A man of vision.
What's your name?
Billy.
Billy what?
What they get is a man so desperate, he'll put anyone on the air.
Hey, Stanley.
Yeah, George?
How would you like your own TV show?
Okay. You get the drink from the fire hose! Okay, you ready? Yeah! Open wide!
He's Conan, the librarian.
Today we're teaching poodles how to fly.
We beat out the networks.
George Newman. He starts where the others stop.
We're the #1 station in town.
Orion Pictures presents Weird Al Yankovic in UHF, the movie.
Hey YouTubers, Hankster here, and welcome to another movie review slash DVD review. And today's review is going to be none other than UHF, starring Weird Al Yankovic, Victoria Jackson, Michael Richards, Fran Dressler, Kevin McCarthy, and Billy Barty. Now, of course, the main reason I'm doing this is that today, July 21st, 2014, is the 25th anniversary of the original theatrical release of this movie. Now, I know the movie didn't do too well, only lasted in theaters for 2 weeks, mostly because of the high volume of movies that came out that year. I mean, it shared theaters with the first Batman movie, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson one, Ghostbusters 2, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Earth Girls Are Easy, that kind of situation. But at least I got a chance to see it in theaters. All the way back there. I was 17 years old. But let's get to the movie itself. Now, not only did Al star in this movie, but he co-wrote the movie with his manager, Jay Levy. And Al, of course, as I said, starred in it. And his manager, Jay Levy, also directed the movie, as well as having a brief appearance as Gandhi in the little Gandhi 2 skit. So the guy who plays Gandhi is Al's manager, Jay Levy. So if you always want to know what he looks like, there he is. And basically the plot revolves around George Newman. That's Al's character. He's sort of a Walter Mitty type. He daydreams a lot, has a crazy imagination. But for him, it really doesn't do too well. It gets him fired from a lot of jobs and all. And, basically kind of not really helping him out. Until one night his uncle Harvey wins an obscure UHF station in town during a poker game, and Al is brought on to be the station's manager. Well, you think a guy with a crazy imagination would make this station an automatic hit? Well, not offhand. It basically just shows old reruns like Beverly Hillbillies and all, and And basically he tries to start off with starring in his own kiddie show and all that, and his own talk show and everything. But not doing too well and all. And he gets too hung up on his work that he forgets his girlfriend's own birthday, and all. And basically things just, station's losing money and everything, and he gets depressed, and he just doesn't care anymore, that he decides to just let the janitor, played by Michael Richards, he plays a sort of a goofball, a simple guy named Stanley Spadowski, host the kiddie show, and that in turn makes the show a hit. Stanley makes his simple ways of doing things, just being a goofball, starts to turn the station around. In the sense that this makes this show a hit, and people, not only kids watching it, but adults and all. And George says, "Whoa, maybe we should go really crazy here. So he comes up with these other crazy shows like, Name That Stain, Leave It to Bigfoot, the Volcano Worshippers Hour, Bowling for Burgers, Raoul's Raw Kingdom. Yeah, a guy showing off animals in his apartment. Go figure that. Well, everything's going good until the station's growing success gets the attention of a network run by Kevin McCarthy's character. It's a network station as opposed to a UHF station, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like competition. He wants to be the top dog in town when it comes to the station, the network. And he tries his best to ruin things, even including trying to buy out the station from George's uncle. Of course, George catches wind of this and basically decides to get the gang together to start a telethon to stay the station. With a unique way, they tried to not to get people to give money, but to buy stock in the station, which is pretty interesting. And everything's going good, especially when Spadowski's there. But when Stanley's not there, things don't go too well. And of course, things get worse when Stanley gets kidnapped by the bad guys, bunch of gangster types and all, mafia types that work for Kevin McCarthy's character. But of course, we find George finds a way to save the day in his own brand of wackiness there. Now, it's a crazy movie. I mean, there's a lot of, it not only has its own comedy, of course, obviously, being it's a Weird Al production, there's a lot of parodies in it. Parodies Indiana Jones and Rambo, Gandhi, of course, he parodies TV shows as well, like Wheel of Fortune with Wheel of Fish, and all. And, just a lot of goofy, crazy ideas. But as I said, being that it was a smaller movie going up against these big movies like, Batman and all, it got kind of pushed out of the way, even though it didn't suffer when it came to media attention, especially when it came to MTV. Back then, Weird Al and MTV were really tight. And this is back, of course, as I said, this is back when MTV was still showing music videos and all. And basically, Al made a lot of appearances. He hosted a week-long series called The Big Al Show, it was called The Big Show, and they would get a celebrity to host it for the week, and he was there to promote UHF and all. So they called it The Big Al Show and all. And, of course, he even had his own weekend to help promote the movie. He and Michael Richards and Victoria Jackson went with some of the MTV VJs at the time and some of the MTV Club MTV dancers, and they had their own Camp MTV to help promote the movie. And, of course, Al was even shown on, Nickelodeon and BET and all these other channels to promote the movie. So it didn't suffer when it came to media attention and hype. But it just didn't do too well when it came to the box office. And it wasn't until it came out on VHS and later DVD that it became the cult hit that it is today. Another thing that I have to show, the movie itself was great, and then Al was great, and everybody was pretty much great in it, but I think Al suffered a lot of things what his fellow music artists turned actors went through. Now, this was not his first attempt to be an actor. In 1986, he got his acting debut in an episode of Amazing Stories, which was a TV show done by Steven Spielberg, where he played a cabbage man from outer space. He, of course, appeared in all 3 Naked Gun movies. He had a brief cameo in all 3 movies. Just got to keep an eye out for what Al was doing in each movie. He was also had a brief appearance in the beginning of Spy Hard, another Leslie Nielsen movie, and all. And of course, as Al's even done, movies, songs for their soundtracks, like the Dare to Be Stupid for the Transformer soundtrack, This Is the Life for Johnny Dangerously and all. So that kind of thing. But UHF was basically his vehicle. But he fell into the trap that a lot of musical artists would fall into, especially around then. I think it's kind of improving these days that. They kind of fall when they get a movie role. It's close to what their public persona is, and basically this was what Al wound up getting into. He would it was George Newman, and even though in the beginning of the movie he was not. He'd be wearing his work uniform or business suit or something like that. But then as the movie progressed, he started dressing up like Weird Al with the Hawaiian T-shirts and everything. So it's it was kind of a trap there. He wasn't playing a musician. It was sort of still it was still like Weird Al doing this rather than a new character that Al could play. And of course, it's been 25 years since Al has starred in a movie, so. Hopefully, sooner or later, we'll be seeing something new with him. I hope it didn't deter him from doing anything like this anymore. But it took almost about 2 years for him to get back into the music scene. Even though when this movie came out, he did another album. The UHF soundtrack would had new material and everything like that. So it wasn't that he quit music. He he had his Beverly Hillbillies song on there, the Dire Straits parody and all. Pretty good album. You should pick it up. It's definitely a classic Weird Al album. Sort of a transition from Al in the 80s to Al in the 90s and all. But UHF, it's an all-time classic. It's just, the weirdest thing about this movie is that, of course, it starred Michael Richards from Seinfeld and Fran Drescher from The Nanny, and oddly enough, it never aired on either CBS or NBC. Because there's actors from their hit TV series in this movie, and they never aired it. I mean, I've seen it on, cable and everything, but would have been interesting to see this on a network. But go out and get this movie, and hopefully sooner or later it'll come out on Blu-ray. As I said, this originally came out in VHS in early 1990, and then DVD in 2002, and the DVD's got it's got a little bit behind the scenes stuff. It's got the UHF music video. It's got really cool commentary by Al and Jay Levy and all, and it's got some crazy deleted scenes. But it's a two-sided DVD too, and all. But it's got some extra stuff in there. You might get a kick out, a little Easter egg in there. You might get have some fun with as well. But I hope you enjoyed this review. Go check out UHF and just celebrate the 25th anniversary of this really great movie. And stay tuned here for more reviews and whatnot here on the Multiverse. See ya.